only did I win at Howard, I was the winningest coach in the history of that school in any sport. So let me tell you how I got to get into Title IX. Like you, I had no knowledge of Title IX. There was no need to have knowledge of Title IX. But you are currently eating from the fields that I've planted. In 1990, I was on the committee to select a men's basketball coach. And they sought nationally for this coach, and they attracted this gentleman who was a former NBA player. And they offered him $90,000. And that doesn't seem like a lot of money, but in 1990, that was a lot of money. Now, this guy played 10 years in the NBA, but he played for 9 teams. Now, Tina, tell you, that's not a good basketball player. If you're moving that, he did most of his time moving. But he never coached college basketball. He never coached high school basketball. In fact, the first question he asked me after being hired was, I want to waive these 3 athletes. How do I do that? I said, if you don't have a wand, you better learn to teach them young people how to play. You can't waive those players in college. The rule is you get a lemon, make lemonade. But we don't get rid of talent. The second question he asked me was, well, if they don't listen, what do you do? Well, I never did answer him, and to this day I haven't answered him. Because if you have to ask that question, you're in the wrong business. Your job is to impart information so they do listen. Long story short, he made 3 times my salary. I was making $30,000, he was making $90,000. Now, mind you, I had 2 jobs. I was also the associate director of athletics. They were paying me $24,000, so that $24,000 and $30,000 made me what? $50,000. Not a lot of money. I had 2 jobs to his 1. I had 11 years experience to his none. I was coming out of 4 consecutive conference championships, and he had none. And when I questioned why we couldn't get a raise and why my staff couldn't get a raise, I was told he has a family. I said, I have a family, I have a daughter, and he's a man. I said, well, let's drag his manly behind down where it counts. I had no qualm with him to this day. I think he's a nice guy. The qualm I had was with some people. Now, I don't want to leave you with any illusions that I'm mad with Howard University. I'm so unmad with them, I just raised $35,000 in a month and a half to rebuild them a new locker room. See, I'm never mad with student athletes. I'm not mad with the coach or the institution. I'm a Howard grad. Insult to injury. So I wasn't going to get into a pissing contest. I wasn't going to spit in the wind. I wasn't going to throw vinegar in the Wheaties. I wasn't doing none of that. I was going to take them to where the only place they understood a good fight, and that was downtown Washington. I went and got me a robed one. Now, if you don't know what that means, that's a judge with a bench. It took 3 weeks to try my case. I won 2.3999. There were so many nines I didn't even count. And I want you to know how little this meant to my daughter, because when I called and said, baby, we won, I said, so what is it that you want? Now, for you young people, you don't just walk out of court with that money. It takes a long time. But nonetheless, we got some of that money. But my daughter wanted to go to the movies and get popcorn that she could put her M&Ms in. See, we had to cut back. So we only got 1 bag of popcorn. So I told her, yes, you could get some popcorn. And you can put whatever you want in there. But I did something that most people never do when you sue an institution at large. And when I stayed. I stayed for one reason and one reason only. I had done nothing that I needed to leave for. And then I ran into 6 young women. Well, they pissed me off. They told me that they could not do aerobics because they had to pay $30, but the men could play flag football, intramural basketball, intramural baseball, and they had to pay an extra $30 for aerobics. I said, well, where's your student activity fee money going? It must have been going to the men. Now, far be it, I'm not a male basher. I just want to know where the money went. So I didn't ask them, I asked Congress, where's the money going? And I remember sitting with Bill Clinton and the late Ted Kennedy. And Ted Kennedy said, so you're the young lady that took all the money. He was just, you took it all. I said, and if you don't help them fix this, I'm going to get some more. Well, long story short, they fixed it. They fixed it. But I have a story to tell you. Britt's good with stories. She's not as good as I am. You can see why I win. I go in your house and I can convince you to come to Howard. I can convince you to come in. I didn't have a locker room. They got a locker room now. I could do some serious damage if I went back. Not happening. But the realism is this. When does what you know become what you do? Now, I like this story. You know why? Because where are the coaches? Raise your hands. Well, I am so proud of you guys because you brought, my niece told me to tell the girls from Cali. My niece is from California. She's an actress. Her name is Sanya Tyler. She was just with me yesterday. She said, tell those girls from Cali to get busy. I said, not till I tell the kids from D.C. do your thing. And I want my Beltway buddies in Maryland, babies. You know where it's at. Y'all get busy too. And Cali, don't come up short. Come on, get that thing in there. South Carolina? Yeah. You thought I forgot. Oh no. This is a great tournament. These ladies and gentlemen have put together a great field of talent here. But let me get back to this story. Well, one of the things that makes coaching so important is that they get to hear all the stuff that don't mean anything. Here's an example. When does what you know become what you do? Coach said, don't pick your dribble up in the backcourt. Some of y'all do that all the time, but you pass it like it ain't no big deal. But when Coach said, didn't I say, he said, I know. My center was 6'2". If she played against Tina was going to beast her. You let Tina Thompson get within 4 feet of that basket, you a fool. So I told him, look, y'all get Tina at the foul line. Y'all make it real difficult for her to sashay on down here. By the time she get down here, we would have worked some magic on the perimeter. Do the math. Tina's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Y'all so big. My baby's 6'2", and she's 6'2" in heels. I said, Darlene, let me tell you a quick story. I'm still here. Darlene came to Howard. She said, Coach, teach me how to jump. Absolutely, baby. Put her on a chair and pushed off. She said, no, Coach, I want you to teach me how to jump. I said, you didn't fall, did you? I can't teach you how to jump. I can teach you how to rebound. She ended up leading the nation in rebounding for 2 years, made All-American. She made All-Conference 4 years. She made All-Tournament team 4 years. She made All-American 3. She also went to Georgia to her home, her new home from Brooklyn, and she was the Deputy Director of Operations for the Olympics at the Morehouse Pavilion. And Tina know about that because they kick butt down there in Atlanta. So I need you to understand this pitch is a little broader than this ball that you're bouncing. So let's get back to this story. So the coaches are telling you what to do. They're telling you where to go. I'm telling you, in order to make Tina's height equal to your center, you got to play a little further from the basket. So here's the deal. If Tina's got her back to the basket, how many times have you seen her just throw the ball like that? I've never seen her. I watched her a lot. So why are you defensing her so hard and banging her up, getting these cheap fouls with her back to the basket and she hadn't turned around yet? When does what you know become what you do? Save that good stuff till she turn around, step on her feet, poke her in the belly, do all them little things that we had to do to neutralize that height. I couldn't raise them at my place, but I made them good. I took a youngster who wrote me a letter. She said, Coach, I want to play for you. I said, baby, the word is you can't play. She said, it's okay, but I got this letter, and God told me I could write you this letter. I read that letter, I gave it to my assistant coach, Jeff. I said, Jeff, read that letter. He said, Coach, she can't play. I said, well, if that's a real letter, Coach. He said, well, she can't play. I put that baby on the basketball team for 2 years. After 2 years, I got her third year award, her fourth year award, and sent her packing. She really couldn't play, but I didn't want to have to get upstairs and try to defend myself against that 11. So I'm a smart coach. But that baby couldn't play at all. But it was okay, because she was mine. I told you about lemons and lemonade. She won them lemons. It's okay, I had lemonade. You have to understand that there are certain things in this world you can't take back. I can't take back fighting a cause that I didn't start. Because I was willing to defend the cause that I was going to finish. I remember Tara Vanderveer, the coach from Stanford, was in Washington, and she said, I had to come see you because when you won your lawsuit, my salary was increased to equal the men's coach. So, coach, if there's something you need, you let me know. C. Vivian Stringer said, if you need anything, you call me. What I needed was some strength. Because when you fight, it takes a lot out of you. But I got a chance to go around and see young people such as yourself out there playing this game, and you are playing this game. And I can tell you, when I coached, this game wasn't played like this. When I started playing, we would run the half court. If you couldn't run, you could play in my high school. Because we played 6-on-6. Two of them never crossed the half-court line. I went to college on a basketball scholarship, and I want you to know I was good. I was good. I'm not ashamed to say that. Because I'm the best right now at what I do. Now, I'm telling you, if you can't be the best, you need an adjective. You need an adjective to describe yourself. Because the word best don't need an adjective. I'm not the absolute best. I'm the best. I'm the best over at Children's National Medical Center, running that radiology department, seeing them sick babies every day, getting them babies well to get up out of there. And you can't do what I've done, been where I've been awarded what I've awarded if you're not the best. And it doesn't start with somebody telling you. You've got to believe that. But you know what made me the best? Because I was willing to do the little things. I was willing to do the little things. And I knew if I had enough little things, I was going to get the big things. Because I was working my way to them. Now, I look around this room, there's some things you must have. You must have discipline. Now, I like that word discipline. I asked my basketball team one year to define discipline for me. And a freshman said, Coach, discipline is what you have when you're on the foul line and you shoot the same way each time. And one of them juniors said, no, that's repetition. I hate juniors. You know, they got it all figured out. I said, well, you know, that might work, but she might be right. So I asked another freshman, what's discipline? She said, discipline is when nobody has to tell you to do it. You just do it. Somebody said, stay away from that TV set. One of those seniors stood up and said, discipline is what you have when you're on a public bus and you got to go to the bathroom. You hold it till you get to an appropriate place. I said, wow, that was deep. But that was true. So when you're in the game and that girl done bumped you for the last time, discipline is not letting that frustration out right then where it costs you and your team. So you got to have a destination. So you need to look at fields like I'm in. I'm in an untraditional field for a basketball coach. I asked Coach Weller out in Maryland, I said, Coach, you getting ready to retire, what you gonna do? She said, I don't know. I don't know how to do anything else. I've been in medicine 42 years. When I left coaching, I became the manager at 6 figures from coaching. You're supposed to go down, not up. I retired, went and played golf. My golf game is smoking. Because I'm the best at golf, too. But you have to have a destination. So let's stop looking regionally and let's start looking nationally. Be a finisher. Whatever I start, I finish. Now, it may not always be to the level and the degree that I want, but I'm going to close that door if I open it. I'm going to close it if I open it. So if I start that game, I'm not quitting in the middle. I'm not giving up till it's over. I've won so many games at the buzzer, I just think the buzzer's there for me. There's a hero in everyone in here. I never started out to be a hero, but I never ran from the cause that got me there. So if you've got your discipline, your destination, and you're a finisher, then you got to share. You got to give back. Now I'm here. I'm here because they asked me. I don't speak unless people pay me to come speak. I got a call. I said, absolutely, I got to be there. I got to be there. You got to give back. I did speak to Dr. Brown, said this time next year, I fully expect this group to come through Children's National so you can meet some of these babies up there that are sick and destitute, some of them, so you can see how privileged you are, how blessed you are. And come up there and see how you inspire some of them to be here in 10 and 15 years. And last but not least, do the math. This game is easy. I looked at you, I walked behind you, you know, I could walk through a crowd, nobody would see me because you all are so tall. It's so nice to see you young people standing up, wearing heels, wearing them dresses. Lord knows, even when I was young, I couldn't get in one of them dresses. But it's okay. I pulled mine too. I pulled them in just like y'all. But remember this. In this life, we are, you, I, the coaches, your parents, your friends, we are what we consistently do. So if we consistently make excuses, don't be surprised if people don't count you in because you always come up with some reason why you can't get it done. We are what we consistently do. So if you like to tell them little white lies that turn out to be little ugly lies, and somebody say you a liar, don't run from it, because we are what we consistently do. If you show up and you're the best, you are what you consistently do.